So I just came across something super cool, and before I get off on a tangent, I want to show you. Now, of course, videos and pictures don't do justice. He really is a big feller. I'm hoping you can see him good. Trying to get him in the picture here. Maybe if I get behind. Yeah, there you go. That's better. Got some slugs on him. But yeah, just happened to be walking by in go mode. So recently just completed a prolonged fast, and after you do that, you have so much spiritual energy built up within you because you've given yourself a physiological rest. That eternal energy that's within us, right? It's not the illusory external energy which captivates a lot of us and our attention outwardly. And we could call that material energy, the material world, right? When you fast, you really get in tune with the spiritual world, the spiritual dimensions, realms of our inner existence, we can say. Fundamentally, the two are the same. Inner and outer are one. There's no separation. But try to stay on a consistent theme for this video. So anyways, I'm walking by, I'm in go mode. Got a lot of energy. Been trying to align with the solar cycles, circadian rhythm. That coupled with semen retention. Very powerful. Coupling those two practices, if you will. Being conscious of our harmony and alignment with existence, with Mother Nature, with the external energy, the Divine Mother, right? Because there's no separation between her and the Father aspect, concept of our Creator, the spiritual aspect, which animates our existence, the intangible essence behind all physical substance and physical form, behind the big turtle right there. And it's funny because the slugs not only represent slowness, the slowness that we tune into, that we harmonically attune to, frequency wise, when we fast, that slowness. Check out the video I did about overcoming the worldly, the external energy, by elevating our frequency through fasting, through mindful spiritual practices, through consistency, which is key. And anyway, I'm in go mode, and I haven't even slept for 3 days, and I'm still in go mode. So much energy, especially being around the time of the year. Just happened to be the summer solstice a couple days ago. You can check out that video too, and just not promote myself here, and just coming to mind, going off, like I said, in the flow. Could be going on many different tangents here. But did a video about last summer solstice, and coming off this fast right around summer solstice and getting alignment with solar cycles. It's midday right now. Got a lot of energy, and I'm about to go on a run. You see, you got the towel with me. Go out, run here in Mama Nature with the birds singing, and it's beautiful. Run barefoot. It's in a public spot, so I'm gonna hop in naked under a bridge, literally under a bridge, because I don't want people seeing me. Normally I wouldn't care. It's our birthday shoot, right? I'm not even conscious of the body most of the time, even when I'm working out. It's funny when people are talking to you and speaking to you like you're a body, and check out the description I did in the last video about people projecting a certain image onto you, concept that they have of you from the past, from memories that they have of you, which has nothing to do with right now, and to perceive you through the filter of a self-image that they have of you is not to perceive you at all, because it's really in that slowness where we are in a heightened state of consciousness. We can tune into this, like I said, through certain spiritual practice. It's important to find a balance we're in this material world, we can say. We all have a purpose. So to maintain a balance between our body and mind and spiritual side, which are all fundamentally one, the divine manifests itself through a sound body and mind. So I'm out here and getting in some exercise midday, and the fire element is very active. I'm in go mode, and I happen to be walking by, and I see this guy, this turtle here. And how could you not see me? He's big. I'm sure it didn't capture the full scope of his immensity in the video. How can it? Really got to be with him to feel his presence, right? It can transfer partially, somewhat through a video, through the energy of the spoken word, through eye contact, right? But just happen to be observing this guy, and you're like, I'm gonna turn back. The car's close by. I'm gonna grab the phone and I'm gonna make a video, because I haven't been posting a lot lately, and I'm at a point, you can see it in the last video, where I really feel like I have accomplished everything that I've wanted to in this form. I have one conscious desire left, and once that's manifest, which it is now, you always want to think of now. I am this now. I've completed this now. It's talking, I always want to be conscious of the words we use, and whether we're speaking in present tense or past tense. And anyways, one desire left, and then my business in this form is done. My allotted karma as this individual person is done. So I think I made that clear with the vibe of the last video. But anyways, not to make it about me, but I see this turtle as a synchronicity, because I'm in go mode, right? I'm out here. I'm ready to do. Is gonna run 13 miles, a half marathon, and then I see him, and I'm like, wow. It's been 3 days since I've slept. Probably should get some rest, and take it easy. So I'm still gonna run. That was the intention. Maybe not run so much, and definitely gonna take it easy later, and probably fast, at least a few days. Nothing. When I say fast, it's nothing but water, right? There's no cheating. There's no sugar. And nothing. Just pure distilled water. Now it can be any water, but I prefer distilled. I'm not going to get into that. A lot of people have a lot of beliefs about the elements, right? The 5 elements. Everything in creation is an interplay of 5 elements, which relate to our inner existence. Chakra system, right? The root chakra. I always want to think in terms of how our inner world relates to the world around us. So I'm conscious, not to make it about me, but when I say I am, I'm speaking about all of us, right? I am the awareness, the same awareness within this, within you, within every child you meet. The same awareness is in that loving, innocent child, and a baby, and a serial killer. The only difference is that the serial killer has been brought up in a system to identify as a body and a mind and a separate entity, maybe a birth certificate identity. Again, check out the description of the last video. It's been a common theme on this channel, coming off the illusion of being separate, of separation from the rest of creation. You really want to feel that profound, deep sense of connection, which we access presence, which animates each of our intelligence. It's one intelligence, one essence behind every physical substance, behind every physical entity. It's an eternal energy that we want to identify with, not the temporary, illusory, material energy, such as the body, which, is base physical reality in terms of the five senses. But it's temporary. There's something within us that's eternal. And of course, we can understand this conceptually, or at least, think we understand it. But to really understand it is to know it. And to know it is to be it. Not to know about it. Not to think about it. Of course, we can think about it and develop certain concepts that ultimately help us align with it and become one with it, which is our own self. The mind is a tool for exploration. It's not our identification. A lot of people identify as a separate mind. This is me. This is my body. This is my role. But we could say, is a universal mind, which is all the time. The body and mind, as far as one is concerned, an individual is concerned, that is temporary time. The body's going straight to the grave every single second. The mind can carry on if you do some important work in the world intellectually and make a contribution to society that has to do with thinking and concepts such as making a video. Right? Dealing with concepts now, of course, we're dealing with energy as well, because all concepts are essentially an energy. But there's something beyond the words. We don't want to get lost in the words. The words are meant to point at the truth. The words themselves aren't really the truth. It's the energy behind the words which represent the truth. The words are the carrier wave for the transmission of the truth, which is the essence, the energy behind the words. The words simply point at the truth, right? We don't want to get lost in words and think that words are the reality. It's a miserable place to be as a human. And unfortunately, a lot of humanity mistakes words as reality, mistakes themselves as a separate entity, as a mind, as a body. And, I was there at one point too. So I can really relate, and I understand it. And it's, once you kind of come off of it, you have compassion. And you see people kind of at that, we could say, lower level of consciousness. Not that lower is worse, but lower level of frequency, you could say. Less of this embodied eternal energy. And it's not that a lower frequency is worse or even worse off than a higher frequency entity, because they're all connected. They're two ends of the same pole. Every frequency is connected to the one above it and the one below it. And it's infinite potential, infinite levels of awareness, of consciousness, which is see, now we're getting, this is the thing about words, is words, for one person, that word consciousness might stimulate in a certain association than another person. And when I say consciousness, it's really something profound. It's something that we identify with. We identify with consciousness itself. It's not my consciousness is separate from your consciousness. Yes, in terms of individual, we could say this is my body and my mind. I have a body. I'm not a body. I have a mind. I'm not a mind. But this is, my not ownership of it, but this is my body and, you know what I mean, my mind. But in terms of consciousness, there is no, this is my consciousness and your consciousness. It's all consciousness. We could say the consciousness is the universal mind, right? Looping back to what I was just saying. But anyways, I'm not trying to be confusing. I'm kind of just going off on a tangent here. We started with a turtle, and as you can see, as you can feel, I'm really in that kind of go mode still. And it's giving off a different vibe than, especially from some of the other videos, which were in more of the turtle state of slowness, where you're really tuned into that inner abundance, where there's an infinite silence, a profound bliss behind all seemingly perceived chaos. You could sit in that state and the world could be going in tatters all around you, and you'd still be in perfect peace, undisturbed. Nothing can threaten you. Nothing can control you. Nothing can manipulate you. Because you're in that infinite stillness, which is a solid and rock-like, yet infinitely gentle presence. And it's conceptless. It's beyond, we can try to point to it with words, but words are missing the point. Even though those words point at the reality subjectively. Ultimately, it's something that words are going round and round in circles. The mind is circuitous. You can only define words with other words, and that's endless. You don't want to get caught up in loops in a circle and something endless, going round and round in circles in the material. We want to find the endless within us. Tune into the endless essence, which is the presence, which is beyond all concepts. And you can go back and forth, like the turtle reminded me. You're in go mode, and you feel like you gotta do this, and you can be in the flow in that go mode. But sometimes when you are just taking a few moments to slow down, to observe what's around, it can be very profound. You can move from compulsiveness to I gotta do this, to consciousness, to pure awareness. We can perceive is not even the right word, because perception is not reality. We can feel might not even be the right word. That oneness, that connectedness, that we are the living consciousness that's all around us. The self-same awareness, self with a big S. The I am not separate from you. The other and self are one. There's no separation. I am simultaneously transcendent too, yet immanent in creation. The essence, which is manifest as creation, is immanent within, yet simultaneously beyond, transcendent. And again, we're going round and round in circles with words, but I hope you at least appreciate the energy, or at least some of the concepts relayed in this video. And we're gonna end it the same way we started it off, right? He's more. I hope I'm not bothering him. He's like, dude, come on. I'm just chilling. Look into his eyes, right? Hypnotizing, mesmerizing. Anyways, love you guys. Goes without being said, right? Don't even gotta say it. Those can be words, or we say them oftentimes, and they lose their significance because we use them too much. Say, I love you. You don't gotta say it all the time. It's implied by what you do, right? It's implied by your actions. It's implied, really, not even so much by what you do, but what you become, what you are. We are that love. That love with which you love is the love that you actually are. That is you. It's not, love is not something for a person to decide to build up a structure in our mind and say, I love this person, but not that person because of this, and get lost in the mind, right? It's unconditional. And when we're in that space of unconditionalness, of easygoingness, of ease, of presence, there is no separation, because there is no identification as a person. Of course, the person is there. We can compartmentalize it as we navigate the three-dimensional base, five-sensory reality. But we know and we feel perpetually, continuously, that that's not our eternal identity. That's our identity in this reality, seemingly, to, other people, perceivably, if they project that onto you. But, of course, when you become a high vibrational entity in terms of frequency, that's part of all of our journey. And I just got the 10% low part. I'm glad it didn't. A lot of these videos, cut me off because the phone has died or whatever, and it didn't cut me off. So, anyways, we're all essentially on the same journey. Some of us may be at different spots on the ladder in terms of frequency, but we're all on the stairway to heaven, on the ladder to heaven. And it's not something in the sky, it's something within. I said Jesus Christ, and my hand just twitched when I said those words. Very powerful. We don't want to get lost in the teacher as a person. It's really the teachings that are important, right? Bible-wise, it's not the people, the places, the time, the history, linearity in terms of a timeline, right? But it's the teachings that come from the space within, which is eternal, which is always here, which is present as an energy. That same energy that animated Jesus, the same inspiration and powerful spiritual ideals that animated his piece of creation, his person, living entity, is within you too. It's within all of us. Better works you will do, for I have gone to the Father. He said it himself. It's within you. Just as much it was within him. It is within him. He's here right now. People talking about the return of Christ, right? The return of Christ is now. It's that presence, which is always with us. Whether we feel it, whether we've harmonically tuned to it or not. The point is, we're all on that journey. And that journey is eternal. And we can be that every day. We can go there every day. And it's not some place to go outwardly. You can simply close your eyes and feel the energy. What's beating our heart. What's breathing our lungs. The body breathes itself. I, as a person, Alex, is not breathing this. It's doing that itself. Right? What is that? What is this powerful life breath? Breathlessness is deathlessness. Getting in tune with the life breath, or we transcend death. We become an eternal, timeless, formless awareness, transcended to physical substance, transcended to the body, and thus we don't identify with it as our primary identity. Not just intellectually, but experientially. Thank you. It's kind of a ongoing mantra. Thank you. I always say thank you. Thanksgiving. Somebody might ask, are you happy to have a half a glass? I just wanted to rhyme. Is your glass half full? Or is it half empty? I'd say, I'm just thankful to have a glass. Whether it's perceivably half full or empty. I'm not getting lost in that mental game. I'm thankful to be here, now. Whatever is going on around. I am. Existence itself. Thank you.